Welcome to this special edition of Philamexpeditions. Today we're going to take a look at our 2021 Toyota Hilux that we call Valentina. This will be a two-part video, so please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss part 2 where we discuss our Alucab canopy camper in detail. Let's get started with the front of the truck now. We have the Ironman commercial bull bar. To that we have mounted the 9-inch LED meteor lights from Ironman. Under here you see that we have the synthetic Ironman 12,000 pound winch, and if you look underneath the truck you'll see that we have two hard-mounted recovery points. Under the hood, the only modifications that we've made are the gas struts that hold the hood up. They're not standard on a Toyota Hilux. We have the main battery here, and as we move over to the passenger side of the vehicle, we have the dual battery system. We have a 40 amp DC to DC charger that charges the rear batteries for the canopy camper. We have an ARB compressor here that we use for tire inflation. And we have the Ironman dual battery system where we can isolate the main battery from the auxiliary battery. The reason that we chose to go with two battery management systems instead of one is that the batteries in the back of the camper are lithium ion, so that we needed the 40 amp DC to DC charger from Ironman in order to charge the lithium ion batteries in the back of the camper. And we wanted a way to isolate the two batteries, the main from the auxiliary, so that was the reason for the Ironman dual battery management system. That will isolate the two batteries, and I can use that to jumpstart the main battery should the main battery go flat. Let's take a quick look at how the Ironman dual battery system works in the truck. So currently the truck is turned off, and you'll see that when I start the truck, we pull juice from the main battery. Once that battery has been recharged by the alternator, you'll see that the dual battery management system will switch over and charge the auxiliary battery as well. Now you see that the system has opened and is now charging the auxiliary battery. Once the auxiliary battery is charged, the 40 amp DC to DC charger by Ironman will start sending the power from the auxiliary battery back to the back of the camper to keep the camper batteries charged. Here we see the front suspension. It's Ironman coil with 2-inch lift and the Ironman Foam Cell Pro shocks. There's also another look at the hard-mounted recovery points from Ironman. For wheels and tires, we chose Fuel forged and the BF Goodrich KO2 tires, the all-terrain tires. They're excellent tires. Moving down the side of Valentina, we see the Ironman rock rails that were installed. And in the back, we come back here for the rear suspension. We see an Ironman leaf spring pack and the Foam Cell Pro shocks again in the rear. On the rear we have the Ironman bumper. This bumper accommodates the parking sensors for the Toyota Hilux. It also has a spot for a high lift jack and hard recovery points in the back built in. Also has a 2-inch receiver hitch, and we relocated the cameras for the Hilux to the back, and we also added a second camera that attaches to the rear mirror so that we can see behind the truck. On the passenger side, we have the Ironman snorkel. On the inside, we've only made some minor modifications. We Added leather seat covers that were custom made here in the Philippines. Of course, the Hilux has navigation and CarPlay. We added a dash cam that also allows us to see out the back because the rear view mirror is no longer useful once you have added the AluCab canopy camper. Other than that, RAM mount for the phone, and that's the only modifications that have been made to the interior. I just want to go over a few things here now that we're to the end of taking a look at the truck. A lot of people look at this truck and they ask me, why did you go with Ironman for everything that you put on your truck? Well, the simple answer is Ironman is an extremely good company. They started out making springs, automotive springs, and then moved into making products for the commercial mining industry in Australia. Once they started that, then people found out how good the products were, and a lot of four-wheel drive enthusiasts and off-roaders and overlanders in Australia started using their products on their trucks, which speaks to the quality of the products that Ironman manufactures. The second reason I did it was because I wanted to go with a single vendor, and the Ironman distributor here in the Philippines also is a distributor for AluCab. So for me, it was a one-stop shop. I could have well-manufactured, well-warranted products put on the truck for my overlanding purposes, and I was able to get the AluCab canopy camper installed by them as well. So by meeting Paul Ascona, the Ironman distributor in the Philippines, I took the truck to him and I said, this is what I want to do. It took us quite some time to go over the details and the design of the truck. I traveled to his shop in Bacolod and we built the truck. So that being said, Paul knows this truck inside and out. So if I ever have any issues while I'm on the road, I can call Boss Paul and he can walk me through whatever we need to discuss. And Ironman has dealers all over the Philippines, so parts would not be a problem to replace on the road. So that's why I chose Ironman for my build. You can call me a fanboy if you want, but if I could give one piece of advice to anybody who's building an overland rig, is to try to go as much as you can with a single provider so that these people know your truck and know how it's built, so that if you have any issues or concerns along the way, you can get your answers very easily.